it's sort of weird that all these years later, I can just remember them going, okay, you're going here, you're going there, you're going there, we're gonna put you in a jet, or we're gonna put you on a bus, and you're gonna visit 10 and all that. We're like, we got it, we're going, ta da 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 da. And then you have a meeting, you're like, oh boy, God, it does kind of put you on your heels, going, don't you think? Does it make that much difference? Are we really going to do all that?
Well, it's very strategic. It never stops, and no matter who you are, it's like if it's Willie or Haggard or whoever, Stapleton or us in the day, but you're sitting around and strategically thinking about the places that they'll put you to get the most impact for what you do, and it's kind of like it's not really in our wheelhouse.
Yeah,
I'm sitting thinking like you are. It's like, I wonder if that vocal was right on Neon Moon.
Yeah,
You're gonna miss me, but this is
right.
A whole fresh and to keep our attention is the hard thing. I think that how jaded we are.
I think
about
that
stuff,
and you just hit the nail on the head for me, because this is the first project that I can remember us doing where all I really cared about was what we were doing.
Yeah.
All I really cared about, I wanted this to really be good.
Yeah.
These acts that we're working with, I didn't know what to expect, but it's really cool. But the marketing part of it, for the first, it's always like, okay, how are we going to work? And honestly, when we were first making records and catching that wave, it's like we had the potential to sell millions of CDs. So how do you do it?
And we run it on adrenaline,
yeah.
And hunger and need and that thing. At that point, everything hung on every decision we made. We thought, and if it didn't, it was going to blow everything, or we weren't going to make it. So I remember both of us, we put our heads down and just went at it a step at a time. It didn't matter where we had to go, what we had to do. There was that sense of urgency and, that and eventually, it gelled that camaraderie that made us, closest friends too, because we didn't know one another that well at first, and then we used to laugh saying that we got to know one another through interviews.
Yeah.
And now we're going through that same process, but you're right. It's a different mindset.
And we were all competitive early.
Oh yeah.
That was really but that was really all we had.
Yeah.
Was, since we didn't know each other, it was all about showing the other guy how good you were, how hard you were, what not, any posturing you could do. I mean, it's the truth. We just were, because
it was a poker standoff.
Yeah, we're just grown men.
Subliminal.
Yeah. It was weird trying to, the whole dynamic. We have, I think, gotten to a point that we climbed Everest, and so it's like, this is, and really today, just doing interviews and stuff, I kind of mentioned something about it, but I really just had this kind of mind awakening of, we kind of get to live again here with this, doing the same thing, but without the pressure or the whatever, the chance to enjoy it, the chance to record these songs without the pressure of it, with some acts that we really admire, and listen to something that I think we both are really freaking digging.
It's the privilege of being able to be like a surfer and not having to not know that wave's going to be there, which are the songs. And you get to ride them. You get to ride them again, and after they're somewhat revitalized with the way that we went about this, or But I don't, as you're very aware, I don't know if I even need to say it, but it's like it's due to the efforts of other people more so than us at this point. And always has been.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Look back and go, well, how did I get on that show? Well, I don't know. Wasn't your looks, wasn't your talent. Somebody knew somebody. So it's fun. Yeah, it's kind of like having cruise control now, in a way. Maybe.
We've got, for the two I guess songs that they've decided to release, I think we kind of knew what Lick Combs was going to do just because we'd heard him sing it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we kind of, were you still surprised toe to toe when you're both in the booth when he started singing?
I was not. Well, I was not surprised because I was prepared. You know,
Uh-huh.
Haley, my youngest, had worked for BMLG and stuff for label group for a while, and she came back early in the game with Luke, you know, raving about everything, you know, they were watching online about him and how he was bringing it. And she even went in the studio with some of the girls from the A&R department, and came back talking about Luke and his posse of guys in the studio, how they were just good country guys giving each other grief and, you know, cutting up all the time. But she said one thing they were kidding him about was like, you got to get it in one take, man. You got to get it one take. You don't get it one take, you suck. You know, it's like, okay, I got it, you know. But so it didn't surprise me that he did as well as he does. I mean, he's got it, man. He stands up, hits the mic, and bam.
He sings hard like you do too. That's
yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, it
he's
was
a hard
good
singer. He's got that big bodied voice.
Yeah.
You know, big full, you know, baritone thing going, and licks too to go with it. So, no, that's a fun thing. You know, and singing hard is part of the game.
And Kane for us, I think, was maybe the biggest eye opener of all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it was for me.
No, it was. It was. Kane came out of nowhere first with the request of the song that he wanted to do, which was Believe.
Did you hear him say, not to interrupt you, but did you hear him say that he wanted to do Boot Scoot?
No.
He said
No.
that he had done it on some talent show at school and had won like a talent show or something singing Boot Scoot when he was in high school.
You're kidding.
He goes, I wanted to do that, but he said, when I heard Believe, I think, you know, he just personally wanted to challenge himself. And for him to think he sang Boot Scoot as in high school, for him to switch, I mean, that's like a big
Yeah, that's a 360.
I mean, he seems real shy too, and I'd always heard that. Yeah. But man, what kind of internal confidence would it take for him to take on a song like that with you singing with him? It's not like he's over in a corner hiding with it.
Well, you saw him in the studio. I mean, it's something alien to what we all expected that he would be into. But then come to find out, he said that he had a personal connection with the song, and I'm sure that played a big part. But when he stepped up, we're facing one another in the studio. You know that she did it with Ashley and others. We're facing one another with a partition of glass between us, and he hits the vocal, and I stepped back and kind of started for a second, and all of us did. And
something warm and real happened right off the bat.
Dude, he can sing.
Yeah,
he can sing. So, and he is. I think one of the things that it's going to be fun to watch as he punches through the curtain out there, and he is to watch him develop and show that aspect and dynamic to what he does more.
Yeah,
because he is super shy.
Yeah,
you know, and I get that. You know, at first that's you know.
Mm-hmm.
Having you and our yin yang was a big asset for many years, still is. But watch him come out of his shell and step up to that mic and hit one. It's going to be, people are going to go, their jaws are going to drop.
That's neat. I hope we get to sing it together sometime.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
be fun.
That would be.
Yeah.
Was there any moment so far? I mean, we've kind of got it mastered and whatever during the whole process that was really defining for you or made you smile or like, boy, I didn't know what was going to happen, but I didn't expect this.
I keep going back to Casey Musgrave doing Neon Moon in such a unique way, you know. And as a writer, I sit back and you get it, and see someone come out and take one of your songs, and she was doing it in her show, as was Luke and Brand New Man, and give it a different twist. And step back and go, I mean, I really dig that.
Yeah.
You know, that's fun stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make this make sense. Remember Merle Haggard coming into the studio years ago, and we were cutting a Hardworking Man. And I remember being embarrassed that we weren't cutting country song, real country.
We were doing something like Silver
hardcore.
Wings.
Yeah, Haggard classic. I'm like, oh man, because we were trying to rock it, and all that stuff. And Haggard said and talked with us about how he was more, his headspace was more into being a songwriter than it was a singer and anything else.
He always encouraged us to be progressive too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's all about that. And Buck Owens the same way. Of course they were back in the day.
They were
big time. But to hear Haggard talk about how excited, it would be to hear, and has been hear other people do his stuff. And it's like, for the first time hearing Casey do Neon Moon and Luke doing Brand New Man, it's fun to sit back as songwriters.
Yes.
And go, dang. How about it?
She's so sweet and so fun and so confident about what she's doing. I just love her as an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she covers a wide berth out there. It's like she's going to headline Bonnaroo.
Yeah, no. Well, that's what we were talking about. How hard it is to take a compliment, but I'm in all sincerity fans of pretty much everybody on this record, and I mean, from the standpoint of I really like their music. We're lucky to have this bunch doing it with us.
No kidding. Yeah. No, we are.